Hi everyone. Did you know it's not illegal to drink and drive? This is Christina Williams with Just Criminal Law.
And David Mann, legal storytelling specialist. Not illegal to drink and drive. I guess that must be true because you have to be at a certain level before it's illegal and you're getting an arrest. So I had a friend last week who did not get arrested for drinking and driving, but he had been drinking and he was driving and he was pulled over. And the police officer came up to the window and asked if he'd been drinking. And he said, "Oh, just a couple," and got out of the car and had to do the field sobriety test. It was embarrassing by the side of the road. And he passed everything and got to go home. But how could that have gone differently?
Sure. So, it's my advice with this is my advice with every single police contact. And that is, the officer probably walked up to the window and said, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And he probably said, "I don't know, was I speeding?" And then, he's talking to the officer. The next thing you know, he should have said, "No, I don't know why you pulled me over." But the next thing you know, the officer is asking him, "I smell the odor of alcohol. Have you been drinking tonight?" Again, he said, "I've had a couple." And almost all DUIs, clients that end up in my office with a DUI said that. But again, keep in mind, always the same answer. You got to figure out how to not incriminate yourself. My suggestion is just simply say, "I don't want to discuss my day." So, do you know why I pulled you over? No. Have you been drinking tonight? I don't want to discuss my day. And then the next thing, the officer's going to say, "Well, I'm pretty sure I smell alcohol. Do you mind doing some voluntary field sobriety tests so I can see if you're safe to drive?" Now, I know what's going through everybody's mind. Okay, if I do well enough on these tests, then I'll get to go home. Or, what happens if I refuse to do the tests? Well, here's the thing. I've watched thousands and thousands of DUI investigations. If the officer asks you to step out of the car and do the field sobriety test, like your friend did, and he was embarrassed to no end as everybody from the party drives by and sees him, doing these goofy tests on the side of the road, you can say, instead of, "Sure, I'll get out and do those," "I really need to get going." And you don't need to step out. They're voluntary. He can't make you step out of the car to do his tests. And so the correct answer is, "I just need to get going." Now, the officer, I guarantee you, is not really going to know what to do next, and he's going to try to keep talking to you about the fact that he smells alcohol and he just really needs to know if you're safe. And at that point in time, you've told him, "I don't want to discuss my day. I really need to get going." The next thing I would do is just say, "Do I need to call my lawyer?" And at that point in time, it's game over for the officer. And you've said, I want my lawyer. I don't want to answer any more questions. And he needs to make a decision. Do I have enough evidence to arrest this man for DUI, or do I need to let him go on his way? And so, in this situation, your friend would have probably been able to just go on his way, and he wouldn't have had to get out of the car, and he wouldn't have had to suffer that embarrassment as everybody drives by and sees him doing the tests.
Wow. Well, I wish he had watched this video first, right? So let me see if I've got this straight. You say no to the first question, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" Then when they ask, "Have you been drinking?" you say, "I don't want to discuss my day." And then when they say, "Well, you need to get out of the car, would you agree to get out of the car and do some field sobriety tests?" you say, "I need to go home," or can I go home? Do I have that right?
Right, exactly. And then, the officer's not going to give up at that point, and he's going to want to keep talking to you and keep questioning you. And the all-important thing to remember is, "I'd like to talk to my lawyer. I don't want to answer any more questions."
All right, so that lawyer could be you. And how do they get a hold of you?
We'll include a link in the description where they can call, text, or chat with a member of my team anytime, day or night. Here at Just Criminal Law, we know you only get one shot at justice, so make yours count.